3608. Okay. So 33. So 39 then. 208. That's number 40 going. 4009. Oh. Oh gosh, sorry guys. I didn't even. I had the Hi Corvine in this Wargaming and Crispy Galactic. Sorry, I'm glad I did what I did then. I was looking over and I didn't notice that there was anybody on because I had the window set to the different thing. So what I'm trying to do, I know it's a bit clunky. I'm just playing around, to be honest with you. And I was like, well, while I'm playing around, I'm just going to go live. And I'm sorry, in a weird way, be guinea pigs. Are you guys going to be guinea pigs for me just to see if this, like, for sound and whatnot? So what I decided to do was I invited myself as a guest. So I'm using 3 cameras. The one you can see me kind of here. Well, there, I'll go there. Now at least I can see where the camera is. So that camera there is my invited self, if you want to call it that. And then this one is the camera here, the close-up that you guys can see of the Austro-Hungarian front there. That's just, or part of it anyways. Is the camera I would use when I chit-chat with you guys on Saturday's live streams. And then the overhead is me sharing a screen, if that makes any sense. So it's still clunky because right now I'm just using a laptop, a very small laptop screen off to the distance there. So I'm going to have to go well over there to, oh, great. Thanks for saying that the sound is good. Yeah, so that's really about it. I'll try to, if you guys wanted to see other things, let me know. Like if I should point the camera, I can do all kinds of things now, but I'm trying to open up my mind this way of saying, okay, that means I can, the main thing is because StreamYard is very expensive, that I find anyways, if I want to start getting into doing a lot of the things I want to do. And they're always like, well, if you want to add an extra camera and all this, it's going to cost you more. It's going to cost you more all this time. It's like one way around it at one point was to do the recordings and then send them off. But they're only recorded in they don't get recorded in HD. I have to pay more money for that yet again. So I was thinking to myself, well, wait a minute, I'm allowed up to 10 guests or something like this, something crazy. And then I was like, well, screw you. I'm sorry to say it, but screw you, StreamYard. I'll figure out a way around you so I can get as many bloody multiple cameras as I want. I know that Not Jay does the, he does a similar trick. I don't think about inviting himself, but he'll share another camera, like as an app or whatever. That's what you're seeing, the overhead thing. That's from Windows camera app. So what are you guys up to today? Of course, it started raining a little bit more. I'm just looking over here. StreamYard might allow multi-cameras free. Streamlabs. I better go get my my glasses. This thing is so tiny. You could walk around it and it would have the lecture vibe. Oh, cool. Cool, Corvinus Wargaming. Like I said, I can fart around with the screen angles. I can. Which would be great. And like, I just want to see in the long run where, like I've already know for a fact that I have to go and get a longer cable for. I'm going to use this, but I think I'm just going to go and get like a little overhead prop right up on the edge of the war table here. So that way I can get flush to it. Just do the fact, like, use the tripod, in other words. And the cord I'm using right now, it's like dangling, like it's suspended in the air, just so this is really clunky. So what I've been doing most of the weekend, just other than just trying to relax kind of thing, is I'm going to move a little bit more just to see if I can get you to. Let's see if I can not get into trouble. So what I've been trying to do is, for the game itself, I'm really surprised at how much headway. Oh, I guess I can just do this too. I think you're seeing a much better shot now of the. I want to see where's the middle. Yeah, that's pretty darn good, I think. It's not all of it. Yeah, this thing. Oh, I see what's happened. The cable is pulling so much that it's actually altering the angle of the camera. Okay, how's that? Still, no, it just so badly wants to have to do something like that. Can you hear the music? Is that driving you nuts? Let me know. I don't want to drive you nuts. Let's see. I think that's not too bad. Can you see? Almost. Just a little bit. Yeah, it's getting confusing now. I should have moved. Maybe I'll do that now. Because now I'm using some blue counters. I haven't finished them up yet, but at least I've partitioned. Sorry, I keep forgetting to look over here. Hey guys, nice to see you, Brian R. Smith and Richard Champion. Yeah, I'm just no music in the stream. That's cool. I'm really glad that you can't hear it. I've got some classical music going off in the background, and but it's not super loud. But obviously, I guess it's saying any background noise or whatever. Like I said, this is really impromptu. I just wanted to try and do a bunch of multiple camera angle type stuff. So yeah, I repartitioned some of the strike points. I went and took a look at the Garlett's Tarniff breakthrough scenario to take a look at, and I was surprised that I'm not that far off strength point wise. So they were horribly paper thin too, historically speaking. If you want to use the Derville Creek scenario as a like if that's properly representing what they had. So like, and when I don't know if I still have the paper here. I'll take a look. I'll try to stick. Yes, I do. I'll try to stick with, or try to stay near the camera so you guys can at least see something besides dead, whatever. So yeah, I went and took a look, and I wrote down all. I have 32 hexes, 32 hex front for the Austro-Hungarians, and in the Garlett's Tarniff breakthrough, they had a 20 hex front for the opening setup. And so I wrote down all the strength points that were in every hex for both sides. So I wanted to take a look, and then that way I could average out and also see what the median number was. And mine's a 4. There's tons of 4s. Theirs is 5. So it's not that far off. And they averaged 6.75 strength points per hex. And I was average, well, I averaged 5.13. They had a total of, I was really surprised. So like I said, I was expecting this big, huge force there for the Austro-Hungarians historically in the Garlett's Tarniff breakthrough for, that's only in May 1915, for goodness sakes. They only had 135 infantry strength points. They didn't count anybody else. They didn't count all the artillery or whatever. And I've got 164. And that's including the 20 points that I got from the Germans, the German brigade. So it's like, wow, really, really stunned at that. So I'm not that far off, you know what I mean? But I did make sure that I didn't have any 2s. So I've got no more 2s. I've got a 3. But and the sad thing was that meant I had to strip off huge amounts of my strength points that I had sitting around Stanislaw. That was going to be my initial offensive. And it's like, I have to, this is I just loving this. I was thinking to myself yesterday, how fortunate I am that I picked this game. Because I'll tell you one thing, I don't know of any other game out there, World War I related game out there, maybe Stormsteel, I don't know, that would have this type of ability for me to be able to do what I'm doing. It's just crazy. I'm so fortunate. It's not funny. To be able to design an entire operation and restructure armies and figure out the cores and then integrate a narrative with all this stuff. Hold on, I'm just going to see if I can take a look at the comments. This thing, I find the overhead camera tough to see units on the map. Great overview, but details hard to see. Cool. So if you want, I can tell you. Let's see if I can do. I'll see if I can make. I can't remember who. Oh, yeah, that's my main dude. So I'll try to make me the biggest picture. I don't know if I'm not a big expert on the camera angle. So let me see what I can do here. And you're right, we don't really need it anyways. I guess it's like a general overview. Hold on that would be the full on. But I don't want the full on. We want something like that almost. Nope. That's even worse. Hold on. Edit layout. Interesting. Okay, so let's get back to here. Let's see if I can edit a layout. Add an item. I'm going to move him. And to there. I'm going to add an item. A camera slot. I think I did it. Let's see. Let's see what you guys see. Is that a new layout? There. How's that? Oh, goody. I'm so glad we're doing this, guys. Like I said, I didn't realize that there's going to be a possibility that I could even change the layout. And with you, Brian R. Smith, mentioning, well, I do like seeing the overhead for, like the great, like, just be able to see it all at once. But I wanted to be able to, so there you go. Right on. Hold on here. Close-in view of the map is good. Cool. All right. Yeah, like I said, I can, once I get a longer cord and figure this out a bit better, I'll be a happy little bugger. So like I said, I've partitioned out the infantry strength points for the Austro-Hungarians. I've got their artillery put in. I know where the engineering units are. All their supply points are down. So that's I'm pretty darn close to, and then I'm going to remove them from the board after that. A few other things that I've added in that's not part of Develop Krieg or the Grand, like the Grand Campaign or whatever, is I think I mentioned that I wanted to allow reconnaissance to occur. So what's good, and at this moment but I am modeling it somewhat like some of the mechanisms that Develop Krieg has. For example, like when Germany declares unrestricted submarine warfare in the game, there's a chance that the United States is going to declare war, enter on the side of the Allies, and it gets increasingly better chance of that happening until at one point it's 100% chance, like they are going to enter the war. So I thought, okay, like I said, I wanted to do a reconnaissance, which is going to be like I'm going to call it for now, because you're going to see why in a minute. Is that I wanted to call them aerial asset points. So what you'll be able to do at this moment, I may change it up later on. But so every month, if you want to expend supply points, and it costs 2 supply points to get 1 aerial asset point. And what can an aerial asset point do at this point in time? Just one thing. All it can do is reconnaissance, and it allows you from a headquarter or core headquarter that's located in open or broken terrain, has an open, a clear or broken terrain hex side in it. From that junction point, you just pick 8 hexes out, and you can take a look at the enemy's strength points from 8 hexes out from that point. I've done the determination of the average distance for planes at that point in time, so it makes sense for the scale. I'm just gonna go and look over here. Sorry, I gotta go and grab my, yeah, there's another thing I have to remember is I'm gonna have to get a bigger screen for this. The big overhead might be better for when you're actively pointing at it. Okay, cool. And I'm not even sure if the overhead needs to be on the screen. Yeah, you're right. It probably doesn't, especially when it's that dinky at that moment in time. So I wonder if there's a way of me. Yes, it should be. Hold on. If I put me, that's right. Thanks, guys, because that makes sense. That makes total sense. If I do this, aha. Right on, guys. Thanks. That makes way more sense. Because I'm sharing the screen, and yet again, I have to remember where the bloody camera is. Cool. Okay. Back to, I can't remember what the hell. Oh yeah, the reconnaissance and the aerial asset points. So that's what it's going to do. But as soon as one side uses their aerial asset points, because the way I'm playing it out is just the way it was historically, even though they would have already been shooting at each other by now, is because we don't have airplanes really in Derville Creek, so now I'm incorporating them in. Is that at first they're not going to shoot at each other, so I'm not having the aerial asset points being used for you to do some kind of countermeasure, because what I want to have eventually is, so that'll kick in. It will eventually happen. Both sides are going to clue in. One way of getting the other side to not use their airplanes to take a look at what you're up to is to shoot them down, basically, and that's how it all started. So that's what I'm going to do. So at the very beginning, so Austria-Hungary is probably going to expend 6 supply points. So effective January 1st, 1915, they'll have 3 aerial asset points, and those are going to be used for reconnaissance, so they can start planning out what's up with the Russians. And I think I mentioned as well that not until the end of April, the last turn of April, so not until May, is winter goes away, and winter restricts movement for an attack down to three hexes of movement, and counterattack is to supply it properly is 6 from 8. So these are things I have to keep in mind. I think it was also mentioned in the previous video. Hold on here. Oh, great! I'm glad you guys like it. Is that this is perhaps an opportunity for the Russians to mount a counterattack in some spots, due to the fact that the Germans have they're so far away. They're the ones that are way in deep in Russian territory down here. So that would maybe be the time I have to go and get the clicker for the overhead. That is a possibility that the Russians may say, you know what, we're a lot closer to our own railheads right now than the Germans are. Except I think I did mention to you before that that part of the right over here. I'll zip it on over here. I'll just go nice and slow, I hope. So this here. So from Tarnów and this double rail line here, and this single track rail line and this single track rail line are off limits to the Austro-Hungarians, even though it's their own territory. Part of the agreement was that the Germans get exclusive use of this rail, and in return, and also they get 3 engineering unit regiments to start doing some stuff to extend the rails out. They can't do it yet because it's Russian. Russian rail, and to model how horribly different their gauge was and how difficult it was to convert Russian rail into German rail. You're not allowed to do it during winter months, and you're only able to do it every alternate turn after that, so it's extremely slow. So they're not able to do anything. Their railheads are very far away from their sources. Like they got nothing here. But now with the exclusive use of this rail, they do have a railhead right here. So they have to take over 40 kilometers of this front as well. But they gave up 20 strength points worth of brigades, which the Austro-Hungarians are super, super happy about. Just due to the fact that, like I said, they can increase their retreat resistance, going from a third, because not normally for an Austro-Hungarian, I'm sorry if I'm reiterating stuff to people, just doing it for myself as well. Hold on here. Brian, it looks like you're in an Operation War Center. I know. It is, you got it, Brian R. Smith, so much, it's not funny. I role play and pretend. Sometimes I'm a junior logistics officer setting up all the little whatever. This is like Mark 1, phase, and does it get approved or not? Oh yeah, I'm way off in daydream land. I love it. Like even, okay, I'll give you some other things that I've altered a little bit. So I've made some monster amount of headway with the factories and whatnot. I'm really happy. I can start figuring out how to produce units and so on and so forth. And I like a lot of the modeling in the sense that once you're committed, that's it. It's gone. Those points are gone and so on and so forth. And it takes 6 months to do. And it's going to be a lot of planning out ahead. I'll tell you, man, the Austro-Hungarians are in a woeful state. They just, it's amazing. I'm like, we'll go through it in a little bit here. But one thing I did alter, which I'm a little ticked about. So factories in Dervelt Creek basically are 3 different types. One type, they call them the weaponry weapons factory, and that's to make infantry type units or, like combat. So basically anything that's the non-lethal aspect of making a unit, because you're not making supply, but you're making like, the clothing and all the logistical support stuff, I guess, and the cookware, and you know what I mean, you get the idea. Then the second type of factory is a supply factory, and that's the one that essentially does supply points. And then the third one is a naval one, which does naval assets. And once a factory is identified as such, it can only do that type of, it can only produce those types of production points. And then you use these production points to make your units or turn them into supply or whatever. And factories need resources, essentially 1 iron, 1 coal, and half a special metal per month for them to operate. And if they don't, you don't get that stuff. And there's all kinds of other things that I'm still like relatively new about it, but I've gone over these rules so many times until eventually now it's clicking, and I'm kind of like forced to have to do it anyways because I'm at an impasse with the game. I got to get to go on. But the one thing I was a bit irked about was the fact that because I don't want to be that constraining. I'm not trying to relive history in a sense. He's got Austria-Hungary not with no naval factories whatsoever. So they've got 12 factories, 6 are supply and 6 are weaponry. And I was like, no, we're not doing that. I'm going to give them at least 1 factory. And all the factories are located in cities, essentially, in urban centers. So you've got a couple in Prague and, that type of stuff. Well, lo and behold, there's 1 in Trieste, which I'm like, perfect. You're going to be my naval yard. And each factory also has its operational level. So basically, if it's a level 3 supply factory, it'll produce 3 supply production points. I don't know if a supply production point is the same as a supply point yet. I haven't gone to that bit yet. So you get the idea. And I was like, okay, well, we'll try to limit it a little bit because I do want to allow Austria-Hungary to have, Christ, they had a navy for God's sakes. And the way I was mentioning anyways is that I want to go my way. I want to allow people to be able to do things as long as it stays within plausibility, for goodness sakes. So I said, well, I'm not going to make them a naval superpower or whatever, that they can produce 3 naval asset points per month. Is I said, okay, fine. They're maybe then not going to be such a great power, even though the factory I gave up was a level 4 factory. I turned it into a level 1 naval factory. I thought that's acceptable. I can go with that. I'm just going to take another quickie look. I truly admire your ability to fully dive. Oh, thanks, man. Well, it's, yeah, well, thank you. What else can I say? I also started calculating the demoralization points. The only other thing I wanted to do with factories, haven't done it yet, and I think I'm going to, because I'm like, well, yeah, I didn't have to, because they just say, okay, count the number of factories you have and whatever. And I was like, well, I want to identify like which like there's 2 factories in Prague, and I'm like, oh, so cool. There's 1 in Buda and 1 in Pest. I thought that was kind of neat. So I was like, I want to know historically. I want to see if I can connect some kind of dots. Like, where were the majority of the munitions factories located in Austria-Hungary? I'd like to put them there rather than, you know, just willy-nilly. So at least I went, and that's how I found out that they were all cities, because I went on the maps there and looked them up. So that's that. I'm going to go and do that at some point. The demoralization points. Remember, it just dawned on me this morning. I started calculating them there in that nice little backyard thing. It was not now, it's pouring out. At least Leo and I did get to go out there for a tiny little bit. So I'm counting them up, and because then I had to start. I wanted to see how close Austria-Hungary is to getting to shaken national morale, and it's dependent on year for every nation. Is that you know, if you get to this many demoralization points within this year, you can also suffer economic collapse and even a surrender. These are some harsh things. Obviously, the surrender one is pretty harsh. But for example, I think once you hit shaken national morale, I'm pretty darn sure you're no longer allowed to mount any attacks that are unsupplied. They have to be supplied. I was like, this is interesting. So I wanted to see Austria-Hungary's woefully low. I think they're the lowest, or one of the lowest for demoralization thresholds. So I'll go to the numbers, and then it dawned on me this morning. I went, Chris, you haven't clued in that there's a whole other front you didn't factor in. Serbia, for God's sake. So it's like, how am I going to include, how am I going to model, or, you know, say, like, factor in how many demoralization points could have been inflicted upon, you know, Austria-Hungary and the Serbian thing. So I went and took a look at the Crowns in the Gutter book, the Ted Racer book this morning as well, and I just flipped through it quickly. And he mentions that through the 3 failed attempts, and remember, they lost. The Serbians reoccupied Belgrade in early December 1914. 3 failed attempts. You know, to take Serbia. They were humiliated, and they also lost 150,000 casualties. So I was like, okay, how am I going to model that and, like, you know, convert that into demoralization points? So how I went about that is, I thought, on average, I went with for a 4th strength point infantry division for Austria-Hungary. I said about 12,000 troops. So that comes out to about 4,000 troops per strength point. I then divided 150,000. I got about 38 demoralization points, because it's 1 demoralization point, infantry 1 per strength point lost in combat, not like surrounded or any of that stuff. So, and then I said, okay, but I also want to add in the 3 failed attempts, and that they were humiliating. So I gave them 50 points, 50 points a pop, and that's significant because. Oh, yeah, I know my book. Where is it? Oh man, you should hear the Blue Jays outside. Gosh, those things have a screech, eh? Jeepers. I don't know if Crispy Galactic's around still, but if he is, he's now a corps general in the Austro-Hungarian army. I'm trying to insert people. Some of them I'm like covertly, and other ones it's going to be pretty bloody obvious. Like I can guarantee it. One of the German corps commanders is going to, his last name is going to be, well, he'll be von Bosma. I can guarantee you that much. But I found out that, and it's so neat that I think if it's spelled and it's pronounced Gates. I was like, cool. Well, I guess I just told you his last name. Didn't want you to know. Anyways, it's GA with 2 dots, TZ. I was like, because I wanted to like Germanize it or something like that. I was like, okay, so he's going to be he's General Major Gates of the 4th Army, 8th Corps. I haven't. Yep, I know where he is. He's going to be kind of near the Easter, kind of. So anyways, let me get back to the demoralization points and whatnot. So where are we here? So shaken national morale for the Austro-Hungarians is 550. So once they hit 550, things are not going to go too well. And like I said, no more unsupplied attacks. Going to take another quick look. And I was thinking later on, that's when you start, like if you were, like in a coalition right now, it's like, okay, now you have to start using another side to let them get battered down, if you were getting close and so on and so forth. All those weird things to think about. I don't know how I would want to get into that so much because I don't want to get into the gaminess of it. So if I ever feel like things are going to go gamey that way, I'm not going to do it. The economic collapse for 1915, which I don't understand, guys. I seriously do not understand this at all. It says economic collapse for 1915 is 525 demoralization points. Yet, shaken national morale kicks in at 550. As far as I know, economic collapse is a hell of a lot worse than shaken national morale. So I don't understand how I can have that happen. And if they hit 600 demoralization points within 1915, 600 they have to surrender. Right now they're at 150. I should say that they had 157 just from this. So just this on my table, you got 157 from that. Then, like I said, I went and decided to give them an extra 188 because from the Serbian front. No idea if that's a good number or not, but I'm going with it. And that brings them up to 345. So that means they're 205 points away from shaken national morale. Like I said, I find really weird. 180 points, demoralization points away to economic collapse, and 255 more points if they get it this year coming up in January. That they'll have to surrender. So that's really about it. Like I said, I wrote down the factories and whatnot. And what else have I got to do? Well, I still got to finish up just a little bit more. I'm also, the other thing I wanted to do so they're going to declare an offensive, and I still haven't fleshed out what that means exactly, but if their offensive works, or based kind of like modeled yet again, if you want to call it that, on the victory conditions you see in your Valkyrie. So if they can get within a certain margin, I'm going to take a look at later, of accomplishing their objective, they're going to actually lose demoralization points. In other words, their morale will go up. National morale will go up. I think that's an important thing. A lot of times I keep hearing about, well, that's why they were doing lots of these sometimes, to boost whatever. So I want to pop that in. Another thing, though, I'm doing is everybody has a focus, but the focus is going to be for the year kind of thing. That's like you're committed. This is where we're going. This is where we're putting our eggs, in whatever baskets kind of thing. I don't want to start being willy-nilly yet again. It's like, okay, this is what we're going down towards. So what I decided for, I still don't even know what it means. Like I said, for Austro-Hungary is that their focus for 1915 is to improve their logistics. I don't know what that means yet. I'm just from their point of view, they're like, okay, we want to figure out how to improve logistics. Maybe the focus could have been on improving factory production and so on and so forth. Yet again, when you look at the Valkyrie Grand campaign rules, they fluctuate, whatever, because he's looking at it historically and so on and so forth. But I mean, he's got, like he says, alternate history bits and different. You can pick different sides. Like one side always has to be France, I think, and the other one always has to be Germany. And after that, away you go. So you could have Russia and we talked about this before. You could have like Russia and Germany together with Great Britain if you wanted something crazy like that. It's all kinds of stuff. But so yeah, that's what they're going to do. And then after that, once I've more or less got the troops down there, I'm going to remove them from the board because I don't want to see them anymore. And Oh my God! Like I said, ages away from playing this game out due to the fact that I still got to figure out how to apply all those other moving pieces, parts for the other, the rest of the world. And I also that one here, the one you see behind me, I want the Arabian conflict zone. Um, I want that at the same level of granularity or specificity as I'm doing the one you see here. This one here is I want to go to the same level of detail. Those guys are going to be in parallel that way. So that's going to be, I've got a lot of work to do that way as well. Like holy smokes, like a lot. I've got to. I figured out primarily what the Turkish armies look like and so on and so forth. But I still got to go through um, a lot more stuff, because I just don't know enough of the history and whatnot. I connect that in to make sure I'm not doing something really weird. Uh, but I know that, like I said, Great Britain is headed off to for the day of Ascension. They want to go and launch their big attack towards Gaza. Yeah, and then I've also, I think, mentioned like during this Christmas truce, like I said, everybody's going to be taking stock, but there's also I was looking at what are the grand strategic aims for all the nations, and at the moment, I can't remember. I've got it written down somewhere across the country. The first one I did actually was Great Britain. I went over them like it was no tomorrow, and yet again, it's still going to be within the realms of plausibility. I just have to be a little bit careful about it. And I think they're going to end up getting demoralization points incurred on them, and they're not even going to be involved in combat sometimes. So what I've decided to do with Great Britain is they're going to try as hard as possible to stay out of a land war continent on the continent. They do not want to put troops in Europe. They do not want to do that. So they're going to try every bloody stalling tactic they can and as minimal troop deployments as possible in Europe. As far as they're concerned, their ultimate objective right now is to continue being the dominant global player on the planet for the next 100 years. They want the pound sterling. They want everything flowing through them. They want to control things. And the way I'm looking at it from their point of view is they want to, where they can control, they will. And in places they can't control, they at least are going to try to meddle as much as possible and cause chaos for other people. One of the big worries for them, for sure, and they want to make sure that they stay at the kiddie table, is the United States of America. They do not want them ever to be allowed to go to be a major player, and they already know they're more or less that way. So they're going to try to figure out ways of causing them a lot of grief with the Japanese and whatnot in the Pacific and so on and so forth. That would be wonderful for them. I'm getting Great Britain to do exactly what they've got. They've got the biggest bloody naval stick on the planet, and they're going to use it. I'm making Great Britain as hyper-aggressive as I possibly can that way. They are going to imprint their every which way they can. They're basically going to say, well, if you don't like it, tough. What are you going to do about it? We control everything practically on the seas. So screw you. And then we're just going to, like I've said before, and then the other thing is they want to control the oil in Persia and control access through the Suez Canal. They want to make sure that's going to happen. And they're going to try to carve out their little place in the Middle East. And that's basically what I'm doing for Great Britain. And like I said, I'm trying as little as possible to put troops, British troops there. And like I said before, there's no Gallipoli. They're doing an amphibious landing in Tripoli, near Tripoli, Lebanon, I believe. Yep. So it's been planned. It's a little off base. Let's look again. Make sure I haven't screwed up anything here. its economy collapsed in spring 1918, yet the empire dissolved only in the fall of that year. Suspected moralization points difference between economic collapse and national collapse is based on historical evidence. Okay. Yeah, it's still a bit of a head scratcher for me that way. So, anyways, I like the way that Great Britain. I like the way I've mapped out Great Britain. So, like I said, they're really. And the other thing is, they're thinking to themselves, you know what? The longer Germany and France beat the shit out of each other, and Russia too, the better for us, as far as they're concerned. They're just going to. They're looking at the war as this war is a war of opportunity, and that's the way it's going to go. And like I said, there's going to be a lot of grief due to the fact that it's like, hey, wait a minute, didn't you say we were going to go and help Belgium? Yeah, we are, but they're going to. I'm going to do a lot of yeah buts as much as I possibly can with them, and we'll see how that goes. I have mentioned before that with Germany, their primary goal is to take over the channel ports in Belgium, so that's going to be their major push in the Western Front. But then I just stripped them off at 20. That's a long way away. Maybe we should just talk about their grand strategic whatevers. The second, of course, is to cut off as much. Look, we just want to start. We want to make sure that Great Britain is not able to bring any forms of supplies, and we don't want the French to bring troops through the Mediterranean. We want to cut off, maybe do an outer blockade, almost like, didn't Caesar do something crazy like that with his, like he built a thing, like he was like, oh, I can't, something like that. He built like a second thing, I don't know, you guys know about it probably, way more than I do about it. But I was like, screw this. Let's yet again try to use Great Britain's strengths to their disadvantage in some ways. That's why I was looking at it. Yet again, even with the EMVR thing, the Emergency Measures Vessel Identification Registry that's going to happen in the Mediterranean, doesn't even mean that the Germans even have to pop one sub in there, man. It's just the threat. It's the psychological nature is what I'm trying to get into. I want insurance rates to go off the charts, pardon the pun, and that type of stuff. I want to slow or cause as much friction as possible for movement of goods and people through the Mediterranean as much as I can, especially through the Suez Canal. If I can get them to go across, I have to go around Africa. Like I've mentioned it takes an extra 2 weeks, I think, at minimum. And, and and also that's a lot more resources, which is just wonderful. That was the other thing too. I got to get back to Charles Latour about is that I rolled and it worked. I couldn't believe it. I was absolutely shocked. So the Germans did talk to the Austro-Hungarians and said, look, we don't think the Germans are going to, the Italians are probably going to join us, but we need them to at least play ball with us a little bit. And I couldn't believe it, but they are willing, the Austro-Hungarians are willing to basically give up, I don't know what that area is, but the area north of, So it's not, they're not going to give up the Adriatic. So it would be all the up in the Alps there towards Switzerland and Germany. It was a very low number, and the Austro-Hungarians succeeded. So I went, oh my God, they were actually willing to offer that up. So what we were going to say to Italy was, Charles Latour, here's this territory. Oh yeah, and by the way, we'll acknowledge your rights to French Tunisia, and so you can get that back and all that stuff. And but we need you to start doing some covert action for us in the sense of allowing us to do some secret naval activities in the Mediterranean and the Adriatic, due to the fact that we got to get some coal, man, for our ships and so on and so forth. So it's a lot. Like I want to get some. That's what I want to do. I want to get the Italians to help us out that way. So we'll see if that'll go. I don't see why not. But I mean, I'm not Italy. Charles is, and Charles is a tough little nut. Corvinus Warding says Germany military rule has also caused a lot of demoralization. Yes. And remember, Charles Satora just brought that up a little while ago too. That when he was mentioning something about Hungary, and I said, yeah. At this point in time, Konrad von Holzendorf has just got massively diminished in power. Germany is essentially taking over the military, the Austro-Hungarian military right now, and a lot of that had to do with the Brusilov offensive, and the Hungarians essentially jumping up and down from what I've been reading, saying, no, we want some change here, and part of the change is that we want Mackensen and so on and so forth to start taking more control of the army. So I was like, holy Jesus Christ. Yeah, so still a ways to go, but I'm just shocked that we're just around, well, getting pretty darn close to 1917. I think this is the turnip winter and whatnot, and things are going to go real. And that's when I guess unrestricted submarine warfare kicks in again, and all hell starts to break loose. But I guess it's just the blockade, man. I've talked about this before. That's, as far as I'm concerned, it's amazing that Germany stuck in it for as long as they did. As far as I'm concerned, I'm absolutely astounded that they were able to hang on for as long as they did, especially when they had to bail out the Austro-Hungarians and then so on and so forth. It was just like, Jesus Christ, just nuts. I'm not pro whatever, but at least it's not like being whatever. Okay, just going back to looking. Oh yeah, you can see the funky little taped thing. I didn't realize that you can now. So that's how I've got the webcam taped to my lamp post there. That's what I use to chit chat with you guys on Saturdays. So that's about it. Yeah, so it's like I said, I got so many more moving parts to do. But as long as I just put a few in at a time, it's not overwhelming the way it used to feel, kind of thing. And like I said, I was amazed that now I understand. Let's put that in quotes. Most of the production process and all that stuff, and the war economies and whatever. So I'm pretty darn happy about that. Yeah, like I said, what do I do? Just a few more stuff in here, and then I can put the Austro-Hungarian troops away, which would be nice. So if I don't chat or whatever, it's just because I'm going back to the book here to do whatever. But I'll try to do it near the table, so at least you guys can see. So here would be number 40. So yeah, I'm just I guess you guys can see there. I'm just doing that kind of stuff. But I got my stencil out because I just love using my stencil. So you can see there. So I just got to go and stencil in a number 40 for this guy right here. That's the 7th Corps HQ, and he's got 4 supply points. And I just got to use, like I said, the stencil. Yeah, and I just got just barely on Sundays. I just absolutely love it. I like listening to KUSC, the classical radio station from the University of Southern California. But my time, from noon till 2 o'clock, they have a show called Musical Offering, and it's really nice Baroque music. It's a lovely way to start the Sunday afternoon. So there we go. So what would you guys normally be up to right now? But no, I may have more characters. Okay. But at least now I know which guys are what corps or whatever. Okay. So I can do that at least. Yeah, all the stuff that doesn't even matter. Oh, you're banking some Napoleonic Austrian cavalry. Cool. Yeah, wasn't it neat? I don't know if you watched Meandering Mike's I Napoleon thing, but oh man, you could just hear in his voice how excited he was. It was just like this. I just love when you can hear that type of. I didn't know he was that deep in the like, in knowing about it. Like I know that he enjoyed that period, but I was like, my goodness. Okay, so I've already done the first army. Cool. So it's just the fourth army. Crispy Galactic. Watched Legions last night. I don't know what that is. Great movie set during World War One, Poland, and their. Oh wow! Holy shit, Chris! Thanks. Hey, Hissy Cat. Reading mostly with some sports activity in the back. Cool. Yeah, it was just like I said, his excitement level just knocked me on my. I was like, wow, we just hear it, and then I could start almost like virtually feel like seeing him. When he said, "Oh, I just want to immerse myself in it for 2 weeks," kind of stuff. So I don't know if you heard Crispy Galactic, but you are General. I popped you in as the 8th Corps commander for the Austro-Hungarians, so you're on the map. All right. So, okay, so you're direct. Yeah, I really love the command and control thing, even if I'm not doing it right. I just love that. Just love it. Right. Number 14 is also under direct. So yeah, the Austro-Hungarians in my universe are using, I guess, a triangular approach, if you want to call it that. So the main dude would be your army headquarters, and then they also have 2 corps each. The Germans have 3 corps. They're the only ones on the board that have 3 corps and an army. So they're doing a square thing. Like I said, I don't even know if this is total BS, but I like it. Oh shit! Sorry, you're not even looking. I'm not. Oh, cool, Crispy Galactic. I'm glad you're happy. And I'm sorry if you. I don't know if you know, but I inadvertently revealed your last name. So I hope you don't mind. I didn't think about it. And I went, oops. But I Germanized it. In other words, it doesn't look like the English version. It has an A and a Z with 2 dots on your A. That didn't sound good. Oh, brother. Yeah. Oh yeah, you're the proud owner of the introductory scenario as well. So that's 3 of us right now: Brian I. Smith, Hissy Cat, 4 of us now. Sorry, you and no, I don't have it anymore. I don't have the introductory scenario anymore. 16. So you're 3rd Corps. I'll tell you who is under your command in a minute, Crispy Galactic, and I'll point out where you're hanging out if you want. So you're the yeah. I'll move them. Oh, that's right, because I'm not there anymore. Hold on. And this thing just is so upset that I'm that far away from the thing. It's just like, what the hell are you doing? Right, Puss? You know what, Puss? I think I should be okay if I don't. There, try that. But yeah, it just means you may see a bit of a dangler. But at least I can now move it more towards the whole Austro-Hungarians, I think. When I just whacked over all the German forts, but oh well. Hold on, I want to see what you see. It's so close, I guess. Hold on. It's not the best. I'll show you where you are. And we're going to look at Chris. You're in an aircraft. Fly. Yeah. Okay, now you are. Yep. Okay, so I'll show you in a minute. I'm just going to write you down it once I get to you. Number 17 is Third Corps. So once I get to you, I will. It's not too far away. And number 18 would be Third Corps. Yep, you're up next. So number 19, this guy here with the Germans. Shouldn't have a German there. Okay, hold on here. So I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay. Oh, no, it is. No, I thought maybe he was doubled up. Yes, there is a doubled up guy, so that he does not have a German troop on him. That's right. I forgot to remove the German troop. You did have a German troop there, but you were just a two-strength unit here, Crispy Galactic, or you're not there. You're here. I'll show you in a minute. The reason why I popped him up to a 4, oops, I should have moved the camera. The reason why I popped him up into a 4, he was just a two-strength guy, and I was like, the guy can hit you here with, and you're in clear terrain. That's not good. But like I said, it's not a good idea for me to be using blue now and blue here. But I was going to be so obviously this is the Russian front, but I'm just using it as a blue indicator for now for when I can distinguish the corps. So that's the 21st. Nope, number 19. Sorry, it's the 21st Infantry Division. That's who you've got under your command, Crispy Galactic, and then number 20. I'm about to write that in as well. Like I said, you're the 4th Corps. You're General Major Gates. No idea if you're a crusty old bastard or what. You don't have to tell us. All right, number 20 is. I do have a 2-strength unit there. Why do I? Well, you do have a cavalry unit there, but that's not great. We're in woods. Oh, so that has the German. That can't be right. Does that have a doubled up German? So I'll have to figure that out in a minute. I'll have to figure out something. But I'll put you here. Just for now. Hold on, I gotta go this way. Blink. Right. Yeah, so another discrepancy. They only have 10 2-strength German brigades. I decided to call them the Silesian Infantry Brigades. Why not? And I even made up this other cavalry, these names here for, that's a cavalry brigade, Austrian, that little symbol here, I don't know if you can see it. Little horse medal, that's what I'm pretending it is. So that's the 2nd Carpathian Cavalry Brigade and the Silesian Infantry Brigade number 5. I'll have to see if that's correct. I know there's a doubled up. Someone up there is a doubled up. They've got 2 German brigades. figure it out. Yeah, I just got squeamish, especially when I don't know what the Germans are going to be up to. This is nice. You've got an elite infantry division up here. No, you don't. I thought you did. There's not too many people. Yeah, you don't have a lot of people on your. Well, there doesn't make any sense. You got more than that. So what did I do? How did I screw something up? There's no way you only have 2 units. Does that make sense? That guy's got 4 and you've got 3. So would I give you 18 then? Should I give you 18? Would make a bit more sense. Yeah. All right, so I'm going to turn number the 18th into. Does that make sense? Yes. I'm not going to give you number 21. Number 21 is for the 3rd Army here, and I'm not a big. I want him to be all in control of the siege on Stanislav. I'm not really a big fan of having 2 different armies attacking in the same spot. Kind of thing. 2 corps, sure, and whatnot, but I don't really not into that. The pressure. No, sorry, dude, you don't have an elite. I thought you would have. Oh, you do. Actually, you do. You do. You get one, dude. You get 1 elite division. The 4th Infantry Division. Okay, so hold on here. I'm just going to switch that up. Cool. But I still have to find out about that German discrepancy. What the hell's going on with that? All right. So 4th Corps. All right. Swap that blue dude in. And get that light blue guy out. All right. There. Yeah, so the elite infantry units in my universe for Austria-Hungary are 5 strength points. They were only allowed to have so many. And then the rest had to be regular or reserve. And the way I also wanted to model their problems is that at this moment in time, every 3rd infantry division that is produced must be a reserve infantry division. And they max out at 3 strength points. The regulars are 4. But they still take up the same amount of logistical space and everything else. They're just not as combat effective. And so that's the way I did it. Whereas the Germans, they're much more efficient in what they get to do and so on and so forth. So for every 5th infantry division that was created had to be reserve. So they got away with murder. And also their elites are 8 strength points. Their regulars are 6. And their reserves are 5, so it's pretty sweet. And in the Russians, it's every 4th one had to be a reserve infantry division, and that may change over time as they're they're in economic collapse or whatever. You're not allowed. It's going to be every 2nd one or every one is a reserve. That's just the way it goes. And their elites are 5, and their regulars are 4. And their reserves are 3. Same thing. Their brigades are 2 strength points, both for Austro-Hungary and Russia. The brigades normally, not the Silesian ones, are 3 for the Germans. What else can I say about that? I think that's not too bad. And see, I do have a bunch of little R's, but yet again, like I said, not really. I still got a ways to go, don't I? Yeah, why not? I can still chit chat with you guys for a little bit. So, yeah, you're over here, Crispy Galactic. So I have not put you. Have I put number 30? Three in, yeah, you would be in there. Hold on here, I'm just gonna make sure. Nope, I did not put you in there yet. You're the fourth core, and you've got you're at a railhead or you're at the railhead or a broken rail junction, and that's going and you've got engineering regiment number 1 with you, and that's going to be one of the things you're going to be doing right off the bat. This is repairing rail. A lot of rail to repair. It's nuts. And here we go, 4th Corps HQ. Supply points are 4. There. Yeah, okay, I'll do that. Why not? It'll make life a little bit easier. We're just going to do it for the just for the Austro-Hungarians. I'll get rid of the blues and pop in some R's, so maybe that won't be so distracting. All right, so unfortunately you may have to see my, whatever. Now you can see why I was like, I didn't want to use these things, because I knew I would be spending most of my days trying to make sure the R's were perfect, and no, it's nonsense. That'll help. You want to have blues. Yeah, so I had to go around and count up all the food producing areas, these little farm things you see here, and oh my God, it was nuts. And then all the coal and all the iron and holy shit, and the special metals, but it was neat to see, because I'm like, okay, now I can start seeing where important places are, and you know, it's pretty bloody obvious where the fronts are. But let's take them off for now, and then I can go a lot quicker. Yeah, so did not turn out as amazing as I thought. The German massive attack there and all that. Did it? That sucked. I really expected a lot more fireworks. Something I'm learning now, and I'll see if I've learned my lesson in that. You need overwhelming, and now at everything with trenches too. It's like, oh, it's a -2 to the die roll, I think. Oh, just brutal. Just brutal. We have some more R's somewhere else. Let's see. As quickly as I can. Stop. What time it is? We'll see what happens. Make sure I go to the shops quickly. Especially when it's not raining right now. My God, man, it's amazing how much water we've been getting. Just nuts. Like, I've ordered some transparency so I could start making my own little film. And Stanislav. And so, like I said, I want to project it on the wall, and then I'll film the projection and whatever. And I'm going to print in column mode on the transparencies, and I'll cut them out and then splice them and go that way. But it's been so wet and whatnot that even the cardboard for the garbage bag as well, the box, it's no longer has its cardboard type resistance. It was so pliable. I was just like, because it just soaked up so much water from the air. I was like, my God, this is just nuts. Do I really need to have them as ours? Like, no one else is fighting. So let's just do that because I'm just going to obsess. I'm pretty sure I have a lot more R somewhere else. Putting somewhere else. I just wanted you guys to at least not get confused with the blues mostly. Yeah, let's just put in some letters. Makes more sense. Just put in anything. Yeah, let's start. Let's. There we go. Okay, that should do it. I don't think we need to go forever. There. That's good enough. Okay. That back. All right, Charles. Well, Tora, great to see you, man. Actually, I'll just say Charles for this thing. For when it's the normal live stream, I like to use your official whatever. I like doing that for people. But this is like low key. Yeah, Charles, I just popped on. I wanted to see what I could do with multiple camera angles and invite myself as a guest. That's why one of the cameras is what it is. Just wanted to see what I could do with StreamYard and get away with it, and also get to a point where I could, see what areas are. Just make it less clunky, and then and it'll be. An option for me to do certain things. I would love to be able to, like, one thing that drives me up the tree is, and eventually I'll get there when I figured out how to do a good layout for the camera views, is have an overhead, the overhead shot of the entire area, and then a close up like you're getting, and then me doing whatever. I think that would be kind of nice. How did I haven't checked YouTube in a while because I've been doing this. Did you manage to do a video of your German turn there for Crete? Yeah, so I think I've done it right. What else have I? I'm not sure. I don't think I did the numbers right for them. Just looking quickly. Just woke up. Yeah, I was wondering about that. Yeah, I think I got the numbers wrong when I was counting up. So if I'm right, I'll have to check the numbers again. But every month at this moment in time, the Austro-Hungarians can produce 23 weapon production points, 21 supply production points, and like I said, I'm allowing them to do naval assets through that. And that's just not fair. So that's that. I want to see if I did it right. I'm sure I didn't get the numbers right because Dave Schroeder seems to like multiples of 4 and that type of stuff. Anyways, I counted 13 iron. I was like, yeah, it's probably 12. I counted 9 coal. It's probably 8. Special metals, I probably got that one right because there's 4. And this food resource center, it's probably 24. I counted 25. I'm going to go with them anyways. Yeah, like I mentioned, the factories, they need 1 iron, 1 coal, and 1 half a special metal. I've also, I think I may have mentioned it, is the fact that the way I'm playing it out is everybody gets their initial stockpiles. So what they would have had at the beginning of the war, they're getting right back all over again, kind of thing. So it's okay. It's all relative. Everybody's going to be whatever. It just means I get to do more of whatever, which is what I want to do. I want to take a look at and see, you can hammer away at this. And that just gives me more options. I don't want to just be like, bleh. Trust me, we're going to get the blah mode pretty darn quick when people like, expend all our resources pretty damn fast, and so on and so forth. So if I've done it right, that means it's starting on January 1915, Austria-Hungary has factory capacity of 17 factories. They can produce. They could fully supply 17 factories. They have enough resources sitting around. They only have 12, so they're good. They're good to go. The problem is that so for their 12 factories, they're going to require 12 iron, 12 coal, and 6 special metals. That's going to run out pretty damn quick because, like I said, they only have enough to do 17, and they've got 12, so they're going to have 5 they can do right off the bat. However, they're only able to produce their capacity after that, because that was, remember, I included their special, their initial stockpiles. You don't include their initial stockpiles anymore. I only have 9 iron, 13, 9 coal, 13 iron, and 4 special metals. So we're now, we don't have enough coal, essentially, as you can see. And they've got 25 units. You use that to, I can, at least the good, some things like for manpower and whatnot, those things can be banked indefinitely. And I think resources as well. There's the production points, some of them you can't. So I have to figure something out on that bit. So I already can see, though, and I'm going to have to do that for every nation. I can already see what the limiter is for Austria-Hungary right now. It's coal. Is it? Nope. It's also special metals because I need 6. So we have a deficit that's going to run pretty quick. So I have to figure out how I'm going to get. I have to do some trades, or you know what I mean. I have to get something from somewhere. Well, how am I going to get that if, for example, Germany needs all of theirs, and it's like, well, how am I supposed to get the coal and the iron then? I'm going to get it from Russia, obviously, and I'm not going to get it across the Med with the blockade going on. Those are the type of things that I want to start incorporating, like I said, into the Grand Campaign, is allowing Austria-Hungary and other nations to have options and not just be saying, well, that's it. No, it's like, no, think outside the box. Allow yourself to think about certain things. We know, for example, that Germany started getting super duper ultra creative in synthesizing products, like figuring out other ways around it, they started using their ingenuity, and that so on and so forth. So I want to get into that as well, allowing that to be modeled somehow. Like, it doesn't mean everything's going to be perfectly polished. This isn't going to be a publishing type of an event or any of that stuff. It's liquid. It's malleable. It's going to be moving all the time. It's flowing. It's whatever. It's dynamic. There's no other way for me to be able to do that. And because if I waited until it was like an actual concrete publishable thing or whatever you could go, I'm never going to be able to play the game. It's never going to happen. It's never going to manifest. So it's like, screw that. I might as well just go as I can. It's almost like the way, Charles Torre, you've said it before and stuff like that, is like, oh my God, Harold Bosma, you son of a D. Nice, great to see you, man. Is that, oh shoot, I just got sidetracked. I did. Completely sidetracked. Oh well. that train of thought just went off the window. I will say this though, by Harold Bosma, you're going to be coming. You're going to turn into one of the corps commanders. So there you go. I'm going to insert you somewhere in. Just let me know what part of the. Do you want to be in fighting in Poland? Do you want to be fighting up in East Prussia? Or yeah, that's you've only got two options essentially. There you go. So you can either go fight up in East Prussia or be in control of a corps there, or you can be in control down in Poland, trying to. So let me know what you want to do. So you let me know who you want to be. If you want to go down and fight off whatever's. Let me know. Yeah, I can't remember what the hell I was talking about. I just, like I said, I think in the long run, though, I just want to make sure that, you know, I'm able to explore whatever the hell I want to explore and just go from there. You know, like, oh yeah, that's it. Like Charles Latour has said before, or lots of other people do too as well. I'm going to play the game out, or I'm going to read the rules and play the game out. That's how I'm going to learn, kind of thing. Well, it's kind of in a weirdo, in some ways, the same way. I'm doing as much as I can, reading up ahead of time, but I've also want to, you know, get on with the game and get on with this, whatever's. For flipping sure. So, like I said, it's going to be neat to know that Austria-Hungary's already given up 6 supply points for next month, so that way they can do aerial reconnaissance. And once that happens, whoever triggers that, that's going to start the evolution of aerial warfare, like and whatnot. And someone eventually is going to say, we can't just let these guys being able to fly over and be able to, you know, calculate our strength points. I'm translating here, obviously, you know, that type of thing. And then it's going to happen. And then how I'm not having airplanes fight each other in this game. What I am going to do, though, like I said, is I'm abstracting it, and then in the sense that I'm going to say, for example, if the Austro-Hungarian, if let's say it gets to that point where there's air warfare by then, and Russia has 2 aerial asset points and Austria-Hungary has 3, and Austria-Hungary says, we're going to use an aerial asset point here, Russia has the option of countering that and saying, well, we're actually going to use our aerial asset point to counter. I don't know if we can roll off for that, or if it's whatever, or if it's just a done deal. They just blank each other out. And then Austria-Hungary's like, shit, I really would like to do it again. I really want to give it a go. Well, you got another point, give it a shot, you know, that type of thing. I would like to see if that's the road I want to go down. And yeah, why not? I don't see anything wrong with that. The underdogs. You want to be, what the hell? You want to be on the, I was going to make you a German corps commander. I just haven't got there yet, Harold Bosma. But if you want to be converted into an Austro-Hungarian, I can do that. No problem. No problem at all. You want to be a Russian? I can even do that to you. We can, what am I saying? There was like German named guys fighting in Russia, French guy, you know, all kinds of crazy ass shit going on. Francois, that, you know, all this type of stuff. So it's you know, in Germany. So why not? You know, Bosma fighting for the Russians, whatever. Just let me know, man. I just would love to have you in the narrative in the game. I think it'd be kind of neat. Like we already have, well, kind of Charles Tortoise. He's the I have to figure out. Charles, man, I'm gonna because you're no longer kind of doing anything. You were like the garrison corps commander, divvying out all of the stun divisions, and you're no longer around. Maybe I'll turn you into one of the army commanders. So you'll be, because I've actually done a ton of firings for the Germans. I fired Schubert's gone. The Ninth Army guy's gone. I gave his command to the second corps commander that was over here. Oh, you can't see it. Actually, let me pop on the overhead then. Jeepers jumping. And then I can point. Okay, I'll make you a German then. There. And you can see the webcam. The webcam corridor here. I'll try to move it a little. Maybe not. So, you know, as you can see there. So that's, yeah, remember it's Charles Tortoise. So the German second corps was here. He did some half decent work. And this is this spot right here. The Germans actually did pierce the line. Where is it here? Was that? Sure. Could have sworn we pierced the line somewhere. Where did we pierce it? Was it just here? Yes, it must have been here then. Yeah, I think so. Yeah, because that was going to be our main objective. Bialystok or something, and we just like I said ran out of turns and whatnot. But yeah, that's right. We forced the Olita Opolcheny Brigade, there, the People's Militia Brigade, out of there. So that's it. Yeah, there was massive firing. So I got rid of Schubert because, as far as I'm concerned, he just didn't do enough for the Germans. So I promoted the Second Corps commander there. I can't remember his name, Redern maybe, but he's up there. I also got rid of Eberhard there, not Eberhard, the guy with the hat there from Africa. Oh shoot! Well, he's not from Africa, but he fought down there. Oh, hold on, I'll go and get his. I'll go get my German book. As soon as I see it, I'll go get one. Damn it! You didn't need it, but I'm like, yeah, you do. Or did I write it down? I wrote it in the book, didn't I? Yes, I did. So yeah, I think. Nope. Yep. So I got rid of. Friedrich von Bernardi is now the 8th Army Commander. I think I'll make. It's Erich von Redern. Yep, he's been promoted to 9th. So Friedrich von Bernardi, I think he did some half decent jobs. You know what, Charles? I'll give you 8th Army, or 11th actually. 11th is Manfred von Richthofen, not the Red Baron, his godfather. That was a cavalry commander and was in charge of the Kriegfrosch for my game. And Remus von Warsch or whatever, he's still down there in Galicia, Silesia area there. I'm just calling his army now the 12th, so he's down here. So that's 12th, 11th, 8th, and the 9th. So I'll have to, Charles, I'll turn you into an army commander. I'll put one of these guys, mostly awake now. So you'll be, you're going to be hanging out with Mr. Bosma. But sorry, Mr. Bosma, you're just going to be a corps commander right now. You haven't been, that's it. Oh, brother. All right. I'm trying to think. I think, I'm going to pop it back to the normal whatever. There we go. Oh, okay, there we are. Yeah, it's nice and sunny again. I'm actually going to, times it. Yeah, I think I'm going to just about to shut her down. But thanks for popping by and saying hello and whatever. And I'm hopefully you guys think this was half decent. Like I said, I'm going to fiddle with. I didn't realize that I could edit the layouts. And I'll play around a little bit more, and we can maybe try to figure out. I'll get, like I said, I'll just work a little bit better and making it not so clunky and get the tripod up and a longer USB cable for my my webcam. I think that would be half decent. All right, guys, I'm going to turn off so that way I can go, like I said, go to the shops while it's sunny, and hopefully I can maybe even hang out outside in the sun for a little bit. Well, this was unexpected to see you guys, so I'm really happy I did get to see you next Saturday properly, which would be even better. All right, that's it. Thanks, guys. See you later. I'm just going to turn off. Wonderful to see you, man. Bye.